Alright, so I decided to put in additional shocks for extra, support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld in the brake tabs for the brake caliper to be mounted for the left side. It used to be on the right side. So I had to flip the axle over to get it on the same side as the motor with the sprocket. So far it's coming along pretty dang on well. And I apologize, I skipped ahead of you guys a little bit. I mounted the gas cable, which really wasn't nothing. I just had to do a little modification between two cables and a horseshoe. It's a shape of a horseshoe, and it's got a flat spot here with two nuts on it. Drew it in tight against each other, and now it's part of the buggy. She works just fine. I got the electrical harness fully figured out, except for maybe about 3 or 4 wires, which ain't much. It's a little bit windy out here today. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with our video too much here. The other thing I'm going to have to do is to mount the speedometer sensor over here also on this side, which is not, it's not even going to be a problem. Just drill a hole and put the sensor on it. What that does is it picks up the high and low spot in the axle, and then it transfers it, the data up to the digital gauge. So that's pretty cool. The push start switch is a little boogered up, but I think I could recover it and try to use it, because I kind of like the little blue light that's in it. And when you push on the start button, it lights up, but it's missing its front cover. Somebody took it off. So I have another start button. I'm hoping that I can repurpose this one and make it work. So far, we have put the motor in from a Suzuki 1987 230 four-wheeler and mounted it into a 2017 Hammerhead GTS, which was originally a 150, now is a 230 5-speed with reverse. How cool is that? So that's cool. I like that. There's going to be a whole lot more being done. I'm going to change the style of taillight that's on this. I may even enclose the roof, the back half, so air can come in underneath the roof and get, well, I apologize, I hit the camera. So it's going to come off the roof down around here and force air down inside where the motor is. Because once you put the backrest in, that motor is not going to be able to get enough air. So I'm hoping that's going to work out. I'm also going to mount a fan to help encourage more airflow down across the motor to help keep the cylinder head cool. I have one of those, and off there in the distance, you can probably see it right about in there. There's a fan blade cover so no one can get their hair wound up in it and create a problem. I'm going to put a window screen so no one's hair can get into that and get wounded up, get stuck in the buggy. But that would be kind of horrible. So kind of got a little late start with the video today because I woke up late. I was hurting too much last night with my neck. All this moisture, the cold, the hot and cold, it just really tears my neck up. And there was a lot of people up here today, so I had to get a late start. So I'm hoping to be able to get a lot done today with mainly the welding. I have to make a bracket for the bottom ends of those two shocks, because if I tried to run it on one side or the other, it puts it in the bind. I like to have it straight back, and have it forked like this down on top of that right there, coming off of that shock. So that's another thing I'll be working on, but mainly I'll be working on transferring the brake caliper from the right side to the left side, finish tacking in my welds for the motor mount on each side, making sure that's nice and secured. And then, welding in my shifter. I handmade a shift rod that looks like what belongs in here. The only difference is it's all black instead of chrome, which I don't care about. I can always paint it silver, or I could just paint the other two black and it'll blend right in. I have decided to keep the emergency brake. That's a plus. In case something goes south, I can pull it up and lock the brake. So that's going to stay where it's at. And I'm going to use the homemade shifter, which you're going to see. It's looks pretty dang on spot on compared to what used to be here. So it's going to have three shift knobs, but they each serve a purpose. One's going to be shifting the gears for the 5-speed, and the other one's going to be for putting it into reverse only. The other one is going to be, actually, I just thought of something. I'm wondering if I can utilize one shifter to do two different things. The emergency brake. If I put that on, it'll lock the brake up. If I push it to the center, it takes the brake off. But if I push it all the way forward, it'll put it in reverse for me. That sounds like a possibility. So I push it all the way forward, it's in reverse. I pull it back in the center, it's ready to go forward and no emergency brake. And then when I pull it all the way back, locks the back wheels so it can't roll nowhere. Perfect idea. Let's see how well I can accomplish that. And then that may just open up that spot to where I can put the shifter down next to the knee rather than up closer to my hip and having to worry about someone's arm smacking into it. So before I make that final, I'm going to see what I can do here. Okay guys, so here's what I got going on. Here's what I did. So as you can see, there's the seat, the way it's going to be. I finished welding in over here, over there, and over in here. And then what I did is I made me a shifter. So that'll be going up through the gears. That'll be going down through the gears. And she works just fine. The only thing is I gotta shorten up my little spacer in there so it picks up some of the slack. But I don't want it to pick it up too much because I want it to be able to move freely. So I can push it down here like this. It'll go faster. I just hit down on the stick, it goes up through the gears, pull back, and you can hear it's going through all the gears. So then in here, what I did, yeah, there it is. Now you can see it right down there at the bottom. I can't point at it because of the way I'm sitting, standing here. But that's what I used. This shift rod is actually from a Kawasaki Prairie 360 or 300. So I used the top half from that goes on top of that transmission and stuck it back there on the motor. Then I welded on a little bolt tab right here, and I welded that stick together. And as it was glowing nice and hot, I actually put a little bit of an angle on it. Can you see it there? A little bit of an angle. So I'm going to clean that up, paint it. You'll never know it. It'll look fine. So I may have to put me a little bit of a Teflon spacer there, because I don't want it to be slippy sloppy. I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be able to, just to be comfortable. But if you can see here, you see how that's rocking up and down. So I don't want that to do that. I'm going to shorten that up a little bit. It's a sleeve that goes through this. I drilled a hole in it, and I don't want it to egg out that hole. So that's what I've done so far. And I'm going to stick a washer on this side of it so it doesn't go all the way through. And so great for mock-up. So now we got a shifter, and we got a functioning gas pedal that put it down. That you can see it going back and forth there. So we're getting full open throttle and dropping it all the way back in. The brakes were sticking, so I had to take a pry bar on it, but now she's fully functioning. And I'll have to work with these brake calipers on both sides. So at the moment, currently, the only thing for brakes looks like it's going to be this back one. So what I've done is I took the tab off of here, I cut it, and then I just tack welded it right there for mock-up. So when I get it done, it's going to be fully mounted there, just like it did over here with that and that one down there. And then it's going to have that cover wherever that disappeared to. And well, this will go, this right here will go under there to help protect the disc brake from hitting the dirt. Now actually that goes on top. It's this one. So this one will protect those. So it'll go there like this. And I gotta take those welding tabs off and those tabs off and find a way to mount it back here. I think I got it. Yeah, that's the right way. So right there like that. And I can put something on each side of that so she'll stay on there and it'll be fine. And we got a little bit of a break there, so we'll fix that. And then this one went on top. So this will be up here like this to protect the top half like it was over here. That's why that's there. So we're going to cut that off and stick it over here on this one and put that there. I say I'm coming along pretty fine. I'll say probably about in another week I should have this exactly where I need it to be. It takes a while because this hurts. Have to keep stopping and going, stopping and going. This cool chill on my neck and my back, it swells up and it hurts real bad. But I think I'm doing pretty well for somebody in my condition. The shocks ain't gonna be like that. They're going to be on top like this. So we got that shock here, that one over there, this one here, and the one that's around the corner there. So that's the way that's going to mount there. That one's going to mount there, but I need to make some kind of a fork bracket. I know what it looks like, what I need to do. It'd be easier for me to just do it and show it instead of trying to go into detail and explain it. But it's going to look like a wishbone, more or less. I actually like a reverse wishbone. It'll go on both sides, and then I'll have the plastic Teflon that goes in the center with the washers, just like it does up here. And that'll add additional suspension I can get a different ride height out of it, and it'll look cool. So the next thing we're going to work on is the reversed shifter. So that's going to go for I think that I'm going to put that right here onto this one. So I'm going to give me a threaded rod, like an all thread, and run it straight all the way back through here. And when I pull back on it, it's going to go into reverse, and then I can lock it into reverse. And for additional, you know, instead of a roll-away buggy, it'll be additional security that it's not going to roll away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the original lever, probably shorten it up so I don't have as much of a throw that I'm going to have to make it go. Or that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shorten it up, put a hole, thread it, bolt it, sleeve it, and have it go directly under the shift rod for shifting the gears. It'll come through there, into here, and into that. So when I pull on it, I can lock it into reverse, and then pull that back for emergency brake, and it'd be less chances of that rolling down the hill. And I think that will work. Things are subject to change without further notice. We will find out. I don't want to put two levers here because I don't want that interfering with the other, and that one interfering with that one. Or otherwise I would just put them together, but I don't want to make it that complicated. Just a straight shot, all thread from one side to the other, bam, done, and I'll have me a shifter. But look how this right here looks like an OEM, like an OEM shifter for like one of these. I stole the handle off of this one and stuck it back here, so I'm gonna find me a different handle to stick on that. But that's what I've gotten so far. Sorry you guys haven't been seeing too much of it, but I've been busy working at it, and it's too windy of a day anyway, so you probably wouldn't even hear me. But it's coming along. I mean, this is probably about 80% there. And I don't think that shifter is going to be too much of a problem. Though it does look like it'll be right at I don't know. I may have to pull it off of there and hinge it up here closer to my leg instead of back here at my back. And then that'll lay that rod down some. So I'm thinking move it from here into probably about like right in here somewhere. That's my gas cable, by the way. Or maybe stick it right here or by the wire harness and just move the harness over. And that way it'd be right in the center of both of the seats. And have it hinged up there instead of over here. And just leave that as the seat belt only. But it's not too bad. I mean, I got plenty of clearance in there. It's not going to hit from the swing arm. It's not going to hit from this, obviously. That's stationed. It ain't going to go nowhere. I think before today's over, I'm going to throw some paint on here, clean it up. That way we don't get rust issues. And then that was a pretty cool little gauge. That lit up the other day. It looked pretty cool. So I got to finish welding in the rear brake caliper brackets. I'll show you guys what that looks like. And then I got to extend some brackets for this guy, because these are made for much smaller diameter disc. The ones I got on there are close to 4.5, maybe 5-inch disc across. These are probably no more than about 3-inch across. But they'll still grab, they'll still do the job, and it'll be just fine. And, well, long and behold, I think I got me a perfect, yeah, that thing's pretty dang thick. I think that would be a perfect shifter. I think I can use that and put that up there. So, but once I clean everything out, I'm going to see what it feels like first before I go diving in. And start cutting out what I just did and go and redo it again. So right now it looks like it's fine. I don't think it's going to be a problem. And if I have to, I'll just heat up that stick and bend it down more, and then I'll just be reaching in between the seats, pick it up and put it down while shifting. And I'll sleeve it with a boot. Put a boot on there, like an accordion boot, so dust and dirt don't get in it and mess it up. But I think that's pretty good. You guys go on and let me know what you think. You can see in there how it works. I'm going to continue doing a little bit more, and we'll see what she does here. And get the rest of this stuff drilled out. It's going to take me a little longer, and get everything switched over to the left side. And we'll just keep knocking it out and making videos as we go along, and let's see what you guys think of it. We're just going to continue pegging forward with this for the moment. And I also have to cut that exhaust. As you can see, from this bar up here and that bar down there, with that exhaust, it ain't going to play well with someone's back in the passenger seat. So that's going to have to get shortened and then welded back on. And hopefully I only have to cut the top half, cut a section out, recess that pipe into there, and hopefully that will resolve the issue without any problems. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what we got going on so far. We already did the shifter, did the gas pedal. We had now shortened that exhaust. Took a good chunk out of that. We welded back on. Got the exhaust pipe running out the back. And there we go. I think that's maybe a little too long, but I can shorten it up. That's sticking out quite far. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a little bit more of that pipe there, so this can get in there a little bit more. And it should have, actually, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Because by the time I put the tires on there, tires will come out probably like right about here. So right to there, yeah, it'll just be that sleeve sticking out right here. So not a big deal. So it's a total mock-up at this point. That's how much of a section I took out of that pipe in the front. And well, we got our brake caliper mount down there. I gotta clean it up and paint it, then it'll look good. And then I gotta do the top half of the mount, and then we can put rear brakes on it. So yeah, how cool is that? Yeah, buddy. She's getting there. Just a little bit more, and we should be driving, and we're going to go ahead and take a nice video of riding around got a nice little spot we're going to go to. It's a friend of mine. He'll be here tomorrow. And he's going to be quite surprised to see how much progress I've made over top of this thing. And so that's going to be it for today's video. I'm getting quite exhausted and tired. And it's already 5:30. So this is it, guys. We're getting there. It's almost there. Just a little bit more. And as always, if you like my videos, hit like. If you don't like them, still hit like. At least thank me for what I'm doing here, what I'm trying to accomplish. Maybe one day you guys will get bored and want to build something, and you'll think back to this and, hey, I like that one idea you did. And, well, so give me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more of this torture being done to me. And share it if you want to make fun of it. Go ahead, be my guest. I still win. If you want to make fun of my videos, that's cool. There ain't no feelings hurt. So it'll just help me get some more recognition. So yeah, go ahead, be my guest. Share it, make fun of it. I got a sense of humor. I can take it. When you look ugly as I do, you gotta have a sense of humor. So you guys, stay positive, stay real, and keep moving every day. You'll regret it if you don't. So I got a lot of tools here I'm gonna have to pick up and get put away. And it's starting to get colder out, and I'm starting to hurt more. So yeah, thumbs up, give me that like, subscribe, and share. And send me some comments. Let me know what you guys think about what I'm doing here. If you got questions on how to do what I'm doing here, give me a question. I'll answer it. I'm not ashamed to talk to any of my viewers. I try to answer as fast as I can. Check out some of my other videos. Maybe you'll like those better. I got a 27 T-bucket that I'm working on. And a Model A Ford. A 1931, and I got a cool two-stroke, two-cylinder, 440 Kawasaki engine inside of a Polaris 400 that I've kind of backed off on for a little while until I get some more stuff for it. But in the meantime, I got all the stuff I need to do this one, so I'm going to keep pounding away at this one. As you can see, we're making progress. We got four-wheeler wheels on it. I'm going to have to mount these tires to the original rims on this guy because they got those welded. I can't swap them off. They won't cut, they won't grind, they won't nothing. Somebody was a good welder, knew what they were doing. So, unless I had the original axle, there's nothing I could do. I think that's probably what I could do, is try to find another one of these that's trashed and grab the whole rear out of it and throw it in and start from there, and then I'll be able to put these big muggers on here and cruise around. So stay happy, my friend. Keep your head up. Don't let no one beat you down. Get out there, try something new. You'll regret it later in life if you don't. Don't get a late start. Don't be a late bloomer. Get up and work. Don't lay up in your mom's basement playing video games. I see you people playing them video games. It ain't good for you. So, have a good one. See you next time.